Morning, everybody. Thursday morning. Uh, didn't do a stream last night. I was tired. What I'm going to try to do is make things a little more normalized for myself and set up a schedule where I'm doing streams not every night, live streams not every night, maybe 2 or 3 times a week instead. It takes a lot out of me, guys, to do a live stream and uh, time wise, energy wise, and everything like that. Not taking away from anything. I love it. I enjoy the hell out of it. But by the time I get done and get settled to go to bed, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I gotta get up at 5. It just doesn't work really well. It puts me down into a bad place, and as a result, I get really tired and get cranky, and I don't like it when people don't like it when I get cranky. So I'm gonna start doing things a little different. I'm gonna schedule on a regular schedule live streams as much as I possible. Plus, it takes away from my personal time for me to get myself settled down and stuff like that, and it affects my work and everything else like this. So I'm gonna start doing things a little more normalized. If you never think of me being normal, anyway, uh, news stuff, lots of stuff going on as always. Uh, the earthquakes, or we always hearing about it. The fires overseas, over in Turkey and Greece, and I can't remember exactly where, but these fires are in Canada, Alberta, I think it is. The fires are crazy, guys. I mean, smoke is everywhere. We see it. I was in South Dakota and Iowa yesterday. I'm in Missouri today, and you can see the smoke screen and the haze laying across the planet and everything, all across the landscape. It's horrible. Uh, Someone had mentioned aerogel. I looked it up and found out what aerogel was. If anybody is interested, it's basically a system where they can take a molecule and encapsulate it into a like a bubble. They do it with grass. Y'all seen these grass? They got the protective coverings on them for the seed that they use to plant grass with. Well, they're doing this also with particulates. No telling what the particulates are, but they mentioned the aerogel is being spread. This is not real smoke. That is aerogel. They can encapsulate smoke in aerogel, which they say helps bring it down to ground level. So we're seeing smoke at ground level. So this is a very big, distinct possibility that this is what's going on. Then again, guys, I've said this, started talking about this a couple of years ago, that these vents, these sulfuric dioxide, these hot vents, these magma or lava vents are opening up. They're cracking. The earth is opening up and letting this stuff come out. Heat, smoke, cinders, and everything. And this will cause combustion everywhere. Trees, grass, ground will burn. I've heard reports of ground, dirt being melted from the heat. So vents are going to open up. Our earth is expanding. It's growing bigger. Much like when we have major changes like this, plates lift and separate, and everything like that, like a Playtex bra. But things are lifting up. Earth is expanding, getting larger. It coincides along with this, Max. I hope you're watching. But you did a little bit of checking on and everything, that with the water disappearing from our surface. And remember, guys, we are in an enclosed system. With the water disappearing from our system, our availability, the only place it can go is inside of the earth, deep inside. And when it hits this superheated area, it turns into steam. And as you know, steam expands and makes things get bigger. It will crack the earth. We're seeing vents opening up, hot lava, magma, and ashes, and all this other stuff, just pure heat coming out of these vents, causing fires all over the world. Who knows? Yesterday, earthquake in New York, a 3.2 plus. It coincides with, as I was talking about in the live stream, that this fault line that leads up from Pennsylvania up through the New England area will drop New York off like a hot potato, just like they talk about with California, Oregon, and Washington. It's starting to wake up. It's shaking and quaking and baking, as they say. So this fault line runs all the way down through Pennsylvania. So anything that's east of that is subject to violent disruption. They're already talking. I'm hearing more and more talk about liquefaction or melting of the mountains. I received a report. I can't remember who it was, but I spread it around a little bit on Facebook talking about safe zones, safe places to go when the pole shift starts or whatever it is that's going to happen happens. And like I've been telling y'all, most places does not look favorable for a whole lot of people. The most favorable places they mentioned, guys, is the Appalachian Mountains from Kentucky down through Tennessee, not into Georgia, and from there west until you get 150 miles east of the Mississippi River. That's where you would draw the line in that one geological area, Kentucky and Tennessee, lower Kentucky and most of Tennessee, from Appalachian Mountains west till you get 150 miles east of the Mississippi River. That zone will be relatively safe, except for that place in Knoxville, Oak Ridge, the nuclear place. But other than that, it's fairly stable, fairly safe from major disruptions. What this paper is showing you. If I get a chance, I'll put it up here as a link or something on here one of these days and let y'all look at it, or maybe bring it up in live stream. But the other area, one of the other areas they talked about being safe, or there's two other areas, and one of them will be surprising to you. I've also considered this place. The other one is the Ozarks, the southern Missouri, northern Arkansas, in that region, 150 miles west, 100 miles west of the Mississippi River, and east of the Rockies. But they're saying the Ozarks is one of the ideal places also for a stable land mass that will not liquefy, collapse, and cause utter havoc or flood. Another thing the paper talked about is when the post shift starts, it will be most like kind of like what they talked about with Noah, the 40 days and 40 nights. It won't most likely be 40 days and 40 nights. Most likely the story of Noah did not last 40 days and 40 nights. But they talked about not only massive flooding from the lakes and rivers and everything like that, but also the constant rain for days. Not just normal, like we would see in a lot of storms where we get a few inches and everything like that. We're talking about feet of rain per minute, not just inches. So massive flooding is what they're talking about along with this. Really didn't want to get into this, guys, but I got going anyway. But anyway, they said the safe areas would be anywhere away from rivers, major rivers like the Mississippi River and things like that. Another thing is, I'll bring this in as a side note, is that the Missouri River is a big river, guys. I don't know if you'll know this, but it also connects into the Great Lakes, but also connects into that giant aquifer that feeds off the Great Lakes. That one river feeds most of the heartland with water. Y'all want to think it's the Mississippi or this one or that one, but it's the Missouri River that feeds most of the agricultural areas in the Mississippi Valley in the United States, in that region. So if the Great Lakes flood and this aquifer floods and it starts throwing water out, you also have the Missouri River you need to be concerned with, along with all the others and everything. Ohio River, Mississippi River, Missouri River. And a little geological lesson, guys, if y'all don't have noticed it. The United States folds in to the Mississippi Valley. Okay, everything else comes in and it all kind of comes down to that Mississippi Valley. There's a big long trough that goes from way up north in Canadian land all the way down through the center of the United States to the ocean, to the Gulf of Mexico. There's a big swath that cuts through there. Everything folds in on it like this, kind of like the Continental Divide or the other one, Grand Canyon, excuse me. But it folds in and everything flows to that area or flows away from it and then flows south because the earth ain't flat. It slopes down in the south, guys. If anybody drives any major amount, they will know that when you head south, your motor don't turn out as many RPMs. But when you head north, you use more RPMs and more fuel. Same thing going east from the Mississippi or west from the Mississippi. It's the same thing, guys. And it makes a logical sense that, well, it slopes down towards from the north, from the Canadian land, down to the Gulf of Mexico at an angle. Also makes sense since you use less gas, less fuel going towards Missouri from either way. Well, it means that everything flows downhill. Just simple logic stuff, guys. Fuck you and your flat earth shit. Sorry. Y'all don't have no common sense, evidently. Anyway, enough about that. But that's part of what's going on. Also, guys, get away from that for a minute. Lots and lots of truth movement, not only in California, but Iowa, the Nebraska, Michigan, and everywhere else you can think of. Oh, that gets me. Oh, sorry, I meant to back up wait 1 minute. The other safe place that they talked about is north central Michigan. Believe it or not, yes, sir. They said that because it's situated between the two lakes, and the lakes will drain south, that one little place up here between the lakes will be relatively safe from liquefaction, flooding, and all this other stuff. Plus the agricultural ability of that area, and the wildlife would make it an ideal place for habitation during the shit hits the fan scenario. Excuse me, I get excited. Anyway, lots of military movement going on. We practices of landing A-10 Warthogs and other craft on major highways in Michigan. This is going on also in the UK. It's also going on in other places in the United States. Besides, they're not talking about it, but it is going on everywhere you can think of, guys. Massive troop movements. People talking about these earthquakes. It might be dumb tunnel explosions or some other anomaly that we're not sure of and everything like that. I've mentioned about it. I've been talking about it for a little bit, guys, and so it's there. Something's going on, and I don't think it's dumb tunnels, but I'm no expert. There's other people that knows about this stuff. I don't. I'm just a mouthpiece, okay? I just tell you what I hear. I'm a gossiper. I'm not a reporter. I'm a gossiper. But anyway, things are getting real. Over in Virginia, we got it confirmed by 2 different people that, I told you all about the helicopters flying low on the ground, and lots of talk about troop disbursement in the area in the fields from helicopters. Yesterday, I got 2 reports saying that something similar to like an AWACS airship, the ones with the big dish on it and everything, was flying in the Lynchburg area at ground level. Now, these ships are radar. They use radars and stuff like that and do searching. I don't know what they're searching for. There could be signals, radio signals, listening for movement. Someone even suggested that they might be searching for heat signatures, not only like infrared, but also for volcanic vents. And I don't know. I ain't gonna speculate one way or another, but guys, all I can tell you right now is everything is getting really, really active as far as military, police, and other stuff. I got reports of militias getting ready to roll out. I can't tell you everything that's going on, guys, and I hate talking about current events because I always get caught up and wind up looking bad and everything like that. But I'm telling you right now, guys, and from my experience, years and years of experience of being in the dirt and everything like that, shit looks really bad right now, okay? And it might be because, they want to scare everybody, but the government is not going to make movements like this and do these maneuvers and take these actions unless there's something getting ready to go down. The homeless thing is getting real bad. I've already seen people walking down the streets carrying their bags, rolling their little suitcases with wheels behind them, men, women, and children. And it's already on the mainstream media, MSM media, that they're already talking about the zombie apocalypse. And they're calling this homeless event, this mass eviction event, will be akin to a zombie apocalypse. If you think about it a minute, guys, these people wandering around here wondering what the hell's happened. They have this glazed, dazed look on their face, not knowing where their next meal's going to come from. And if you compare that to what some of the zombies look like in some of these movies and cartoons and stuff like that, well, you kind of see a similar expression, this lost hopelessness, hungry. So this is already starting, guys. And I'm telling people now, y'all need to be ready for this. Whatever it is might come. If you want to sit out a lemonade stand and give out bologna sandwiches for everybody, that's up to you. Or if you want to protect your house, you better figure out what you're going to fucking do real quick. And desperate people do desperate things, deadly desperate things. And these people will be desperate. No food, no shelter, no clothing, except what they carry on their back. When they go through all their clothes and all they got's dirty clothes, they ain't got nowhere to wash them. So when this starts going out, if the government doesn't take steps to stop it or put some kind of easement on it, it's going to be bad. And the only easement that they can do is either pay everybody's rent or ship them out to Fort FEMA Camp USA, which most likely will be Fort FEMA Camp USA. Unfortunately, we had the homeless disappear during the first outbreak, and now we're getting another second outbreak and another variant, and people will disappear. And we'll have plenty of hamburger meat. You are what you eat, guys. And these people that are dying are showing up on your grocery store shelves and then on your fast food restaurant buns. I ain't going to mince words. They're processing people making food for us to eat. And vegetables, a lot of the vegetables are fake and made from a resin or a polyurethane or whatever the hell. It's plastic food. There's no nutritional value in it at all, hardly, except what they manufacture and put in it. Plain and simple, guys. Our health is going downhill because we don't have good food. Unless you grow your own and go to the farmer yourself and cut that pig or that cow, whatever. Well, if you're buying it at the grocery store, even your butcher shop, you're buying fake food. Anyway, the troop movement, the helicopter movement, the aircraft movement spells like we're getting ready to go to war. Maybe right here. And the reason I'm saying right here in the United States, guys, is because with these practices of these aircraft landing on interstates and other U.S. highways, major highways, tells me that they're expecting airports, military airports, and other civilian airports to be unusable. All right. Which means they'd be destroyed. Which means they think that we're getting ready to go to war domestically. War's coming to our doorstep, guys, whether you like it or not. It's coming. It's here. Along with everything else that's going on, guys, it's here. My mustache is lopsided. Yeah, anyway. So, as much deniability as you want to put into it, that's fine, Nanny. You're using your cognitive dissonance, which is your prerogative to see things other than the reality. And I could go into a lot of stuff about y'all's cognitive dissonance, as they call it. But we're not doing that today. Now, we're talking about events that may or may not be happening. Do not hold me strong to this, please, guys. I'm just relaying the information. I am the gossiper, not a reporter. Get it right. Anyway, I forgot. The military, the aircraft. 2 years ago, the U.S. sent 24,000, I think it is, troops to northern Italy to help with the earthquakes going on there. At the same time, Russia sent 26,000 or so troops to approximately the same area. There is no engagement between the two groups of people, this close, and we're at odds with Russia, yet no interaction. Could they be working in together? I think so. I'll report on this. And they could have gone underground. I've talked about this. They could have gone underground and used that with the infrared mask that they bought up from all the civilian masks. They got all these goggles and stuff that, night vision goggles and stuff they bought up off the civilian market because they didn't have enough. They almost emptied the civilian market of night vision gear. And then these troops went overseas. Why would you need night vision gear unless you're going to work underground, unless there's not going to be a sun? Could be both, even if they block out the sun or turn the light off or block it out with ash and everything like that, there would be still some light somewhere. But if they're working underground with a lights out scenario, who knows, guys? I always said there's things going on that you don't know. I don't know where to go with this, guys. I mean, I really don't. I'm just trying to tell you what all I've been hearing. The aircraft landing on the highways. I've seen a video of one A guy in a civilian aircraft landed on an interstate in Florida, I think it was the other day, then took off again. Just come down, landed, scooted down the highway, and then lifted back off. They don't know who or why. Weird stuff going on. Your animals are acting fucked up, attacking people more and more. I talked about it, so y'all need to be aware of that. Food shortage. That's another thing. Yes, about the zombie apocalypse. Just go back to that. Yeah. Mainstream media said because of the food shortage, the economic conditions, the social conditions, and the political reform going on, and the evictions, looming evictions, this will be coined the zombie apocalypse. This is coming from mainstream media, guys. They're telling us what's getting ready to go to happen. You need to pay attention to these dumbasses, even though we don't like them and we know they lie, but they do drop truth bombs once in a while. And this is one of them. The zombie apocalypse is on us. They got their phones stuck to their ears. There's the Obama phone stuck to their ears, toting their little wheeled clothing bag behind them. Mom, dad, and two little ones. I saw it the other day, man. It just, it hurts. It hurts. But like Dave Hodges said the other day, there's a lot of them that brought this on themselves by just saying, fuck it, I ain't going to try no more. The government's going to take care of me. Trust your government. And you got evicted. You lost everything you had. You lost your hope and your dreams. So when this starts getting to be an epidemic problem, which won't be much longer, they'll send out the FEMA barges and the FEMA boats, or the FEMA boats and the FEMA buses. Speaking of which, coming through Iowa yesterday, I saw a whole train track. Must have been close to 100 cars of FEMA cars sitting on tracks. They're sitting there, and there's no mistaking them, guys. There's no mistaking what they are. They're not cattle trucks, and they're not for cars. They're for people. It's off. If anybody's interested, it's off the interstate in Iowa on Interstate 29. I don't remember what mile marker it is, but you'll see them. They're there. They're waiting to be used. And these are also located in Chicago and then Los Angeles. They're all over the United States, guys. I've showed them showed them to you a while back, a few years back, in my hometown, Elizabethtown, Kentucky, that they're sitting there waiting. It's there, guys. They're ready. We are not. I can go on and on all day, guys. There's so many things and everything like that, but it's just these current events worry me so bad and everything. I really don't like talking to them because it brings everything down. You know, and I want everybody to start feeling better. I want everybody to have positive vibrations, good feelings about their lives and themselves and the people around you. But making sure you're aware of what's going on is another big thing that you need to go on. So I'm not doing this to bring you down. I'm not doing this to get attention. I want y'all to be ready. I want you to be aware. I don't care what you're going to do. I don't care where you're going to go, who you're going to go with, or whatever. But y'all need to get your mind right and get your mind right because everything's going to change. And it's nothing going to be the same, and you're not going to live where you live right now. You might for a little while, but when it comes down to it, well, I'll take that back. I'll take that back. Things are going to get bad. And it's up to you to decide whether or not you want to stand by and take it or you want to be free. That's it right there. And I preach freedom as long as I can breathe. I'll talk about it. And the only part about freedom, it's you got to make up your mind that you're going to do what it takes for you to be free. And then you go about doing it. That's it. I'll sit there and I'll harp on this again. I've been free for the most of my life. I've had to follow certain rules and regulations and everything and do this, that, and the other. But for the most part, if I didn't want to do something, I damn sure didn't fucking do it. And I'll stand this again as an example is the U.S. military, the U.S. Navy tried to get me to do what they wanted me to do, and we had a problem. I won. I did what the fuck I wanted to do so much that the Navy didn't know what to fucking do with me. They just told me, go away, please. All right? That's how fucking free I am, all right? If y'all want to know about it, that's how fucking free I am. I stood my ground against the U.S. fucking Navy, and I won. So, and I do have my own beliefs about things, and so a lot of people come at me wanting me to change my views on religion and stuff like this, y'all. It ain't gonna happen. I stood down the fucking government. I stood down the U.S. Navy. What makes y'all think that I won't stand down y'all? Lordy mercy, y'all talk about somebody stubborn. Y'all ain't met a mule like my ass. Anyway, y'all have a groovy day. Do what you need to do. Get yourself ready for what's coming. Get your mind right, but be positive, guys. Please, I know it's hard to. It's very hard to during this time, especially this past week. We've had a lot of negative energy on us. But always remember this, guys. Unless you're dead, there's always a tomorrow where you can have a better day than you did the day before. Peace out, guys. And as always, do something nice for somebody, even if it's for yourself. We forget about that. I tell you, go out here and do something nice for somebody today, make them happy, or make your fucking self happy today, all right? Later, taters. Y'all have a groovy day.